All right. Let's go ahead and move on to first call public invited to be heard. First up, Mr. Gordon Pedrow, former city manager. Welcome back.
Mayor and Council, Gordon Pedrow, 2639 Falcon Drive. On October 19th, I returned to Longmont after spending several days out of the country. When visiting China, you quickly learn that ordinary citizens are not expected to know much about the workings of government, and that most ordinary citizens do not seem to overly be concerned about those expectations. I would not be viewed as an ordinary citizen in China, because I do expect to have easy access to appropriate public information, and do expect to know what and why things are happening in local government. Therefore, you will understand my deep concern when I belatedly read the October 11th edition of the Times Call and learned that the Longmont Police Department had begun encrypting police dispatches so that ordinary citizens are excluded from monitoring public safety radio communications. I do not personally monitor police radios, but I know people who do. More importantly, I know that members of the press monitor these communications to keep abreast of breaking news stories so that they can keep the public informed. In the above-mentioned Times Call article, the decision to encrypt dispatches and deprive citizens of access to important information was vaguely explained as concerns over victim privacy and officer safety. Since the public was not provided sufficient information regarding these matters, we had no idea if encrypting dispatches is the appropriate means to address these concerns. Your constituents rely on you to make certain that local officials are not suppressing information residents and the press have a right to have. Residents heavily rely upon the news media to keep them abreast of breaking news stories. If local officials withhold critical information from the public, then the residents are left in the dark. It is common knowledge that some high-level officials in this country believe that the news media is the enemy of the people. I do not believe that, and I don't think you do. Listen carefully to the quotation from Lord Northcliffe, a publisher of British newspapers from 1888 to 1922. News is what somebody somewhere wants to suppress. All the rest is advertising. If officials do not provide key facts and engage residents in a meaningful discussion, it could appear that somebody is wanting to suppress important public information. That would be real news. Council members, you have the power to make certain your residents are not unnecessarily deprived of critical information they deserve to have. If encryption is truly necessary, please ensure that residents are provided adequate information and are given the opportunity to be part of the decision-making process. Thank you for listening and considering my remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Pedrow.